Hello and welcome back to my lockdown layout. Since my last video, I have now wired up a GaugeMaster Combi controller and we are in fact now operational. So here you go. Obviously this is just a very basic Hornby 040 Loco. Far from the best, far from most prototypical, but it's perfectly good for testing purposes. So as you can see, we're now operational. Just going to switch the points here by hand. I haven't wired the point motor fully in yet, but that will come. So let's just watch her go off on the spur here as well. There we go. So that's now working nicely. So yeah, I'm generally very happy with that. In my previous video, I mentioned about showing you the new twistlock point motors. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn the board over to let you see what's underneath. And without further ado, here's the exciting stuff underneath. Well, first of all, just to talk about the actual wiring for the layout. What I've been using here is the pre-soldered power feed joiners from Peco. Here you are, PL. Of course, the staple's in completely the wrong place, but I think it's PL80, which are your power feed joiners for code 100 or 124 rail. I'm using code 100 standard Peco FlexiTrack. And then I've used the Peco chocolate box connectors to connect up the bus wires through the nice pre-drilled scale model scenery baseboards, and through here to join onto the next set of power. And this goes right the way out to what will be the fiddle yard. And here we are with the GaugeMaster Combi controller. Now here we've got the new Peco PL1000 twistlock turnout motor. I had problems with the regular Peco point motors, as much as anything in terms of the thickness of the baseboard combined with cork to get it long enough to go actually all the way through to the front. At least with these new twist locks, you can actually cut the bar, I think you call it, to the length that you actually need it to be, both underneath and on top. So for me, in this case, it works really well. Now you'll notice here that you can actually just twist it in and out like that. And that was probably a mistake to do that, because now I've got to get it sorted again on top. So that's something for me to sort out a little bit later on. But hopefully that gives you a bit of an idea about these new twistlock point motors. And I think generally speaking, they're pretty good. The other thing I should probably briefly talk about is my intention for the scenery. With having a tunnel entrance here, there will be basically a rural scene with grassland, a little bit of a grassy knoll, I think is perhaps an appropriate term, for behind the side walls, both here and here somewhere. Oops, there's my finger. So that will give the idea of the world beyond the edge of the baseboard here. As you can see, the actual back scene is in fact just a basic blue sky background at this stage. I will probably build up something very, very low relief at the bottom just to give a bit of an idea of what's beyond this space. You'll also notice that I've really set it a little bit too low here, so I'm going to have to do something about that. Perhaps if you've got any ideas what I could do, maybe make a comment down below. That would be really helpful. And as we get further over, possibly not on this spaceboard but on the next one, I'm going to use a nice Skytrax low relief industrial building, just to give a bit of an idea that we are getting into an industrial area, and beyond that the start of a small town or large village. The eventual idea is that beyond the 4 baseboards that cover the goods side of thing, there will be a small terminus station, probably on another 4 baseboards. The idea partly with this is that they will be modular and can work independent of one another as well. But we've got to see. This is the early days with this layout. I haven't, as I say, got any names for this yet. It's not specifically based on anything prototypical, although the idea for this does come out of something that BRM magazine put together as an idea of a layout in a box, but obviously this is somewhat bigger than that, but that's where the basic idea for this came from. So I hope you've enjoyed this little update video. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and post any comments you might have below. Thanks again. Bye.